Hi guys, I've got another video for you, and this one is my palette that I just got, the Urban Decay Naked Ultimate Basics palette. I am so excited to have this. My hubby got it for me for my birthday, which was October 5th, and I've had a chance to play with this for a while, so I've got a few thoughts on it that I'd like to share. And so this is available at places like Ulta, Sephora, probably other department stores for $54. And the packaging is so pretty. This rose gold, really, really pretty. It is plastic, but it's pretty sturdy. And you get like this nice size mirror, and it goes all the way back, so that's convenient. And then you have the 12 shadows and a brush. And let me just show you the brush real quick. So you have like this kind of a fluffy shader type brush, and then you have a blending brush. So I've used this. This is more like a smudger brush actually, and you see how it's kind of got a smaller tip there, just perfect for smudging. And then this one, it does have a little of an edge, but it is pretty fluffy too. So when I tried packing on shadow with this one, it kind of was blending things at the same time. So I don't know, I'm not crazy about the brush, but you know, who buys a palette for a brush, right? So I love Urban Decay palettes in general, and most of their shadows too. So these are the 12 shadows that you get, and the thing about this one is it's an almost all matte palette. So there's this one shade right here that's called Blow, and here's that one has a little bit of a shimmer. That one's at the top that I swatched, and here's all the shades swatched for you. And so I'll tell you, I happen to love this palette. I think it's great. The quality is pretty great, as most of the Urban Decay palettes are. And I think the only problem I've had so far, I've used most of the shades, maybe with the exception of this rust shade and the black. I don't know if I've really used those two on my eyes. The only one I'd say I had like a slight bit of problem just trying to blend it was this plummier shade. But and that one's called Lethal. But everything else is fine. I mean, you know, so is this palette worth it when, you know, you may have things that are similar? So in my opinion, yes. I'll tell you why. In my collection, the only other palette I have that's close in color to this is the Stila Minds palette. Now, let me just show you. I mean, it's not shade per shade exact, but I'm going to just... So it's pretty similar. So the thing about this is I generally love Stila Shadow, and then they came out with these series, and they were so hit or miss. Like some of them were really nice and soft, and because I also have the Soul palette from this series. This is from the Eyes Are the Window. It's got the fancy packaging and everything. But these shadows in the matte palette, which is called Mind, it's cracked over here, spell. But these shadows here are just kind of chalky and are not as soft. So, you know, as much as I love, you know, the colors in here, the packaging is gorgeous. I am not reaching for this palette as much just because I don't enjoy using it, you know, with that sort of payoff and the way it applies. It's just not worth it to me. And this one, I have the exact opposite experience. I mean, the shades are mostly blendable and pretty soft, and I'm enjoying this a lot. So, I mean, if you have this Stila Mind palette and you weren't happy, I would say totally get this one. It's definitely worth it. If you have a bunch of the Naked Basics palettes, and you don't see anything so unique in here, okay, maybe you don't need this palette. You know, if you're someone who loves matte shadows, I'm sure you'll find plenty of use for this one. And the thing I love about it is that it does have the one color that does have a little shimmer, so which is the one at the top again. That just speaks to me because I always like to put a little highlight on top with a little shimmer, even if I'm using mattes. So I never do like a fully matte look, but so they kind of saw me coming. Not that they asked for my opinion when they created this palette, mind you, but I do like the fact that you have that option, and I do find this very usable, and I am very inspired when I look at this to create looks like just immediately. So, you know, as far as I do own the e.l.f. Mad for Matte palette, and you know, not that this has anything to do color wise with the shades that are in here. It's really a different palette, but it's a matte palette and it's like $10. So I thought I'd mention it for a second. The shadows are great quality, but I look at it and I go, meh, I like it. There's nothing I feel like, okay, I want to do this, you know, like I just don't think of any looks. Nothing comes to mind. So, you know, so I'm loving this one and I totally think it's worth the price. But I'm used to spending that on Urban Decay. I do love their I do love that company a lot. Um, you know, if you have other palettes, I think Stila even has another palette that has very similar shades, like a rust color, a gray color, a nude color. I forget what it's called, but it's one of their older palettes. And so if you have like a bunch that are very similar, you may not feel that this is necessary. There's nothing so new and like unique about this, just that it's a good quality matte shadow palette. So if it's missing from your collection, totally get it. But another thing I want to mention is that according to Sephora's website, they say um, you know, matte shadows are a good option if you have more mature skin because it doesn't tend to show texture. Um, so, you know, that's one of their tips. So I thought I'd just throw it out there. You may find that useful information. I tend to use both. Like I'm, you know, not strictly matte, not strictly shimmer. I kind of mix it up and I tend to go for both. Usually to blend out, I'll use a matte. So in any look, I'm using usually both. Um, I I like this one a lot, and I appreciate it in my collection. So I'm glad that that I did get this. So you know, I hope this helps you figure out whether you do need this. You know, if you're still on the fence and you still haven't picked this up. So you know, and I hope you enjoyed this video. You can follow me on Facebook at Yafa Real Beauty for updates, and please subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss out on any of my videos. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.